It wasn't supposed to go down like this. Breaking Johnny out of jail was supposed to be a smooth operation, something I'd tell stories about years from now, laughing over beers. I had it all planned out, every detail accounted for, every potential snag covered. But the thing about plans is that they never quite account for reality. My name is Joseph Sanders, and this was my story. Now, before we start, this is no action hero story. I don't come from a mafia family or criminal organization. I'm no big shot assassin, no hitman of any sort. I'm no kung fu expert. I boxed for a bit in my early years, but that was it. Hell, I don't even come from military background, and I'm definitely no prison escape artist. I was just an average nobody who made one too many very bad decisions. The night was cold, the kind of cold that gets into your bones and makes you question your sanity. I parked the old Ford behind the cluster of trees near the edge of the prison's perimeter, close enough for a quick getaway but hidden from the guard's view. I checked my watch, 2:15 a.m., right on schedule. I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of what I was about to do. Johnny wasn't just any friend, he was my best friend, more like a brother. We grew up together, got into trouble together, and always had each other's backs. So when he got caught up in that mess and took the fall for something I had a hand in, I knew I had to get him out. The thought of him rotting in that cell, wasting away for something that was partly my fault, was unbearable. The plan was simple. I had bribed one of the guards to leave a door unlocked. I'd sneak in, grab Johnny, and we'd be out before anyone noticed. I had done my homework, mapped out the guard rotations, memorized the layout of the prison. But as I approached the side door, something felt off. The door wasn't just unlocked, it was wide open. Panic flickered in the back of my mind, but I shoved it aside. Maybe the guard had been careless. Maybe it was a stroke of luck. I moved quickly, darting inside, sticking to the shadows. My heart pounded in my chest, each beat echoing in the silence of the prison halls. I reached Johnny's cell without incident. He was there, lying on his bunk, staring at the ceiling. When he saw me, his eyes widened in disbelief. It was a minimum security prison, so there wasn't a lot of guards, which made it so easy. "What the hell are you doing here, man?" he whispered harshly, scrambling to his feet. "Getting you out," I replied, fumbling with the keys. My hands were shaking, adrenaline surging through my veins. The key clicked into place, and the cell door swung open. But just as Johnny stepped out, the alarm blared. A deafening sound that shattered the silence and sent my heart plummeting into my stomach. "Run!" I shouted. We take off running back the way I came into the compound. One of the guards was coming through the door and tried to tackle me, but I saw him coming and kicked with everything I had. I send him flying, and another comes right behind him and gets me, knocking me to the ground and attempting to cuff me. But Johnny pulls out some metal bar and rocks the guard over the head, and bam, he's out. I reach my feet and we continue on, only a little bit more to go, one more fence to get through, and we're home free. There's no way they'll be able to catch us once we reach the truck. We make it near the final fence, but it was too late. Guards poured into the corridor from every direction. We were surrounded. I could see the panic in Johnny's eyes, the realization that this was it. We were caught. I raised my hands, my mind racing for a way out, but there was none. The guards seized us, shoving us to the ground. As they cuffed my wrists, the gravity of what I had done hit me. This was no longer a story to laugh about over beers. This was real. And it was over. They dragged us down the corridors, past cells filled with jeering inmates, to a small, dimly lit room. They threw Johnny into one chair and me into another, facing each other across a steel table. The guards left us alone, slamming the door behind them. The silence that followed was suffocating. I looked at Johnny, guilt eating away at me. "I'm sorry," I whispered, but he just shook his head. "You tried," he said, his voice hollow. "That's more than anyone else would have done." Before I could respond, the temperature in the room dropped and the lights flickered. A sense of dread settled over me, cold and oppressive. And then I saw him, standing in the corner of the room, shrouded in shadows. The Reaper. He wasn't what I expected. No scythe, no skeletal frame. Just a tall figure in a dark cloak, his face hidden beneath a hood. But I knew who he was the moment I saw him. Death himself. Johnny saw him too, his face paling, eyes wide with terror. The Reaper stepped forward, his movements slow and deliberate. When he spoke, his voice was a low, echoing whisper that seemed to reverberate through my very soul.
It's time,
he said, his gaze shifting between Johnny and me.
one of you must come with me.
Panic surged through me. No, please. I started, but the Reaper silenced me with a raised hand.
The only choice is who.
His tone final. One of you was destined for this night. I looked at Johnny, and for the first time in my life I saw true fear in his eyes. Not fear of the guards or the prison or even death, but fear of the unknown, of what came next. And in that moment I knew what I had to do. I swallowed hard, trying to find my voice. "Take me," I said, the words coming out stronger than I felt. "Take me instead." The Reaper's gaze locked onto mine, and for a long, agonizing moment he said nothing. Then slowly he nodded.
So be it.
He whispered. I felt a chill sweep through me, colder than anything I had ever known. My vision blurred, and my body went numb. The last thing I saw before everything went dark was Johnny's face, his expression a mix of shock and sorrow, and then nothing. When I woke up, I wasn't in the prison anymore. I was standing in a vast, empty space, a place that felt neither here nor there. The Reaper was beside me, silent and still. "Where am I?" I asked, my voice echoing in the emptiness. The Reaper turned to me, his eyes, or what passed for them, boring into mine.
You are where you need to be.
He said cryptically, and with that he was gone, leaving me alone in the void. I don't know how long I've been here, or what's supposed to happen next. Maybe this is my punishment for trying to cheat death, for risking everything for a friend. Or maybe it's just the beginning of something else, something beyond life and death. All I know is that I made my choice. And now, I have to live, or not live, with it.